My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for The Nun 2. And if you go into this movie just expecting to hate it, rolling your eyes whenever there's a jump scare, then you're going to hate this movie. But if you go in with an open mind and you want to have fun with it and you're willing to meet the movie on its wavelengths, I think you'd really enjoy it. I don't know how you can't, because this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I absolutely loved it. And I'm happy because I was excited for this movie. I love this Conjuring universe. It's written by Akira Cooper, who's one of my favorite writers now. And this movie just delivered for me in every way I wanted it to. It's just a very easy watch. It's consistently entertaining throughout. I was always engaged with everything going on the screen. And I think the structure of this movie is masterful because you've got these two separate storylines and they take their time and they build to the last act ever so perfectly. And they really deliver on all of the insanity and goofiness you'd want them to. And I was just having the time of my life. I really enjoyed it. And it's also really well done that way too, because the first two acts give you the setting of the sporting school, which I loved. And we spend time there and we get to know every room, every doorway, and when everything's going down in the last act, you can follow where the characters are. You can follow what's happening because the movie took its time. So really impressive on that level. And you might ask me, Gavin, is this movie scary? And I would say yes. Is it as scary as The Conjuring 1 and 2? No. No. It's not a terrifying movie, but it certainly has its moments. That scene we see in the trailer with the magazine stand, loved that moment in the actual movie. So well done. There's also one scene on a stairway that got to me really good with some masterful editing. And there's a few other moments. The movie is able to maintain tension when it's needed. So kudos to Michael Shavs, who I was really harsh on regarding Conjuring 3, but I feel like I need to revisit that movie. I feel like I spent the entire time comparing him to James Wan instead of just watching that movie as it is. So, yeah, because I actually look back fondly on it. I feel like I was way too negative, but he really proves himself here. Like, his growth as a filmmaker is so evident, and yeah, he really does a great job. And I also love how these nun movies have Indiana Jones vibes in moments. They have to look for something, and I really enjoyed when the movie was doing that. But the biggest surprise, the one thing I was not expecting this movie to do, is to be very heartfelt. I was surprised at just how sweet and charming and how emotional this movie could be. There are these three characters. Mother, a daughter, and Frenchie who likes the mom. And just everything with these three really worked for me. It really got me to care about the characters. So when shit's going down in the last act, I felt the stakes and I cared. And even the note the movie ends on, it kind of got me in the feels a bit. And I was not expecting that. And I do like the cinematography here. There are a few shots of this movie that I love. I thought the story was always engaging. I like the additional lore, and the cast does a really good job. Taissa Farmiga, I thought, carried this movie incredibly well, and she showcases emotional range when needed. I thought Storm Reid did good. It is curious that they got her for this character because she doesn't have a lot to do, but she's still fine. The standout though is Jonas Blucrot because he is the heart and soul of this movie. He can be so pure and so good, but he's also the threat of this movie. He is the menace. And he's able to do both and interchange just flawlessly. I thought his performance was really great. And Bonnie Aarons as the nun, she just brings this character to life so well. Like, it might seem easy, but like, you can say the makeup does the heavy lifting, but I think this character is, and the way she moves and all that, is entirely her. Anna Popplewell and Caitlin Walls Downey, I thought both gave really good performances. So the cast surprised me as well. I really love this movie. My only issues is that there's a few scary scenes that weren't scary. Mainly in the first act, where they built up really well, but then it's just like, and it's done. And I'm like, what? Why would you do that? There's also one scene, well, I don't know if it's a vision of the future or it's time travel, but there's just one really odd scene. Like, not even a scene, like 5 seconds, where we see The Conjuring 2, and it's just, what? Then there's one moment in the last act where there's characters being hunted by something, and that thing walks by them, and then like a minute later, the characters are screaming, and that thing doesn't hear them for some reason. We don't see it again until like 5 minutes afterwards. So that really threw me off. But yeah, I highly recommend this movie. I loved it. It is 100% going to be in my top 10 movies of 2023. I can see myself rewatching this movie time and time again. It's just a total blast. It is so much fun. I love the insanity and the goofiness of it. I love how it can be legitimately scary. I love how it can be emotional when needed. It's a very well directed and acted movie. And you know what? Shit, I was only going to give this movie an 8 out of 10, but screw it. I'm giving The Nun 2 an 8.5 out of 10. I honestly loved the movie that much. And I'm excited for like Saw 10, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's only going to be 2 hours, so now I'm excited. Suitable Flesh, Thanksgiving. Maybe The Toxic Avenger if it comes out this year. VHS 84. Like, there's a few scary movies I'm really pumped for. But yeah, like, this is going to be the best horror movie of 2023. Just, yeah, loved it. But have you seen The Nun 2? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.